Mukharji from Satish Pradhan Gyan College, Department of English, Thane. Today we shall learn about the concept of communication. We will be covering the first part of the chapter. My dear students, in life, we need somebody or the other to talk with, to exchange our joys and sorrows, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
In life, we can't stay alone. We can't be isolated. We don't like to be alienated. The reason is we are a social animal. As you might have read already, man is a social animal and he can't stay alone. He has to mingle with the society. He has to talk to them, get his work done or get other things done. So that is known as nothing but his act of communication. He communicates. He or she is prepared to communicate out with the world. Now, in this chapter, we are going to concentrate on what is this communication? C-O-M-M-U-N-C-I-A-T-I-O-N. What is this communication? Yes, we'll go to the roots of this word. The English word communication is derived from a Latin word that is communis or communicare. This is a Latin word which means to make common, to impart, to transfer. I repeat, the English word communication is derived from a Latin word that is communis or communicare, which means to make common, to impart, to transfer. Now, today I am very happy. Why am I happy? My friends will look at me and they'll say, Are, what is happening to you? Why are you blushing so much? तो इतनी चहक क्यों रही है? Then I open my mouth. I'm happy because of XYZ reason. But then I opened my mouth to tell them why. But without opening my mouth, my blushing, my smile, it was also communicated to them, and that was nothing but non-verbal communication. That means communication takes place with the help of two things. One is verbal and non-verbal. Verbal means use of oral or written. That means use of words either in oral or written. And non-verbal means there is no use of word, but your gestures, facial expressions, your silence, your body language, your posture, everything communicates. That is known as non-verbal communication. I must communicate to you what exactly Peter Little has said about communication. According to him, communication is the process by which information is transmitted between individuals. Information is transmitted between individuals so that understanding response result at the end. He says so that understanding response results. I am talking to you. You are talking to me. So that talk, should make some sense and I should understand what you are talking, and again you will also should understand what I am talking to you. Right? Now for example, girl in yellow. What is your name?
Anita.
Come again?
Anita. My name is Anita.
I got an idea in my mind to ask this girl's name. She is dressed in yellow and she's sitting in the very first bench. Come on, what is your name? That idea I got into my mind. And then what she said?
Anita.
Her name is Anita. And that came to me and that registered in my mind. Yes, this girl in yellow is Anita. Again, I will not ask her. Again, I'll ask her some other question, because once she told me, once or twice I can ask her. But then that is communication, making things common. I came to know who is she, what's her name. Is that clear? To make common, that is when I share something with her, the things will be common between us. To impart, I can impart my knowledge as I'm delivering my lecture, I'm imparting my knowledge to you. Then again that to transfer from one person to another. Is that clear? Now let us concentrate on the process of communication. Then in exam you might get a question like discuss the process of communication. communication or elements in the process of communication, or explain the communication cycle. All the three means the same. Alright, there are 8 elements in the process of communication. The first one is the sender, second is the receiver. Sender, the receiver. Again, next is sender, then message, feedback, channel, medium. And now here it is encoding. Here decoding. Now, sender is the person who is known as the source of the message. Now, I have something in my mind. I become the sender of the message. Sender at a time will be one. Let me make it again clear. Sender will be one person speaking at a time. Whereas, when it comes to the receiver, receiver means the person who receives the message, who understands the message, might differ. Receiver might be one, receiver might be two, receiver might be group. Is that clear? So sender is the originator of the message because the idea crops up in his mind, and that idea he puts forward to the receiver. And whereas receiver is the person who receives the message, understand what the sender is asking, and then he responds. Right? Now let us go through the cycle, this process of communication, how it takes place. Now sender got an idea in his mind. That idea he puts into a code. And that code is nothing but certain things which is common between the receiver and the sender. For example, I am using expressions. That expression the receiver will understand in the right manner. So that is common between both of us. Basically, if I am Bengali, I will not speak to the other person in Bengali directly because that other person might belong to Maharashtra or any other thing. First, I will understand which language that person is. And then, if we both don't know each other's language, then we'll remote certain things which at least I will speak using the non-verbal communication. For example, what is the time? So, how I show? This is an expression, okay? This is a gesture, which with my facial expression and gesture, I communicate certain things, and then she will tell me certain things back, okay? The sender encodes the message. Now, what is your name? Was my message. I have put it in a code of language. My encoding was a language, and that language became a message that is known as what is your name? Now decoding. That message is received and understood. You know, decoding means receiving and understanding. And who will understand that? The receiver. So the arrow comes down. Again I come here. Sender encodes the message. That message is decoded by the receiver. Correct? Here half the circle is gone. She got it. Madam is asking for her name. She understood in a right way. Your name I say, not your father's name, not your mother's name, your book's name. I asked her her name. She understood it in a right way, and now receiver plays the role of a sender by responding. Now she encodes the message. That message becomes the feedback for this message. Okay? Feedback. I asked her, what's your name? She said, my name is Anita. So receiver is encoding in the same code which I have sent it to her, and that becomes the feedback. You can see what is feedback. It is reply or shabby to show that, and in a neat thing, something is coming into your eyes, disturbing. That is a barrier known as noise. Though we are in a compact room recording, then too what is happening is sound is there, noise is there, because noise is present everywhere. Understood? And noise is a barrier. We have to control the noise by being more effective, being more loud and clear. Okay? So now everybody might have understood. Yes or no?
Yes.
So how many elements are there? How many elements in the process of communication? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. The first one is sender. Next is receiver, message, feedback, encoding, decoding, channel or medium, and the last is noise is present everywhere. Let us explain again. The sender has an idea in his mind. That idea he puts into a code, and that becomes the message. That message is decoded by the receiver. The receiver encodes the feedback, and that feedback is decoded by the sender. In other words, we can say the sender encodes the message, the receiver decodes the message. The receiver encodes the feedback, the sender decodes the feedback. Okay? It can go this way also, and the last one we can say is the sender has an idea in his mind. That idea he puts into a code of language, and that becomes the message, and that message is received and understood by the receiver, and the receiver again encodes the feedback, and that feedback is